Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Rose Smith from Absolute Soul Secrets, and I've got the Courageous Capricorn 2024 horoscope. A fair bit happening this year, as indeed there is most years. But firstly, I'm going to pick two tarot cards as theme cards for the year for you. So let's go to the board now and we'll see what we get. So the first half of the year, the first card if you like, what do I see? There's messages going back and forward. I'm seeing an old-fashioned sort of fountain pen here. I used to actually use them in the old days. This has just come out, this one. The other thing I saw was the Aries glyph, which is like the shape of a bird. So look at the big picture it's saying, and also fly high. So take a bit of a risk this year, but of course it has to be calculated, and you have to work out all your bits and pieces, cross your T's and dot your I's. The Queen of Pentacles suggests there's something going on with your money, and indeed there is, because we've got Pluto going into Aquarius in your house of personal finances. So we'll talk more about that in a moment. This is saying take action so you can really improve your finances in 2024. The Queen is a master or a mistress, whichever way you want to look at it, of your personal finances. She's very astute in business. She's also quite crafty in the sense she can do a lot of different things and achieve a lot, holding on to the pentagram and also excuse me, the little spell box here as well. So it's about making money. Let's have a look and see what we see in the second half of the year for Courageous Capricorns. Messages, again, it's a bit old-fashioned. I see an old-fashioned switchboard here. When they used to have those plugs and they'd pull them out and they'd put them into the, pull it out of one and put it into the other connector. And so we're talking about in country Australia, pre-1975-ish, in some country towns, they still had those old switchboards. I remember moving to a country town in 1979 and they still had one, in fact, now that I think about it. The card that comes out, so that's an old-fashioned way of getting messages. The card that comes out is the Four of Cups, but I also wanted this one underneath as well. So it's about exploring your emotions, and as you did that, you will find there may be some sadness from the past that comes up. A previous relationship, most probably, there was a real spiritual connection with the person, however, it didn't work out. And this gold skirt that she's wearing and this green top is about growth. It's also about working on the solar plexus. There could be some fatherhood issues of abandonment, or maybe he wasn't there to help you complete projects. But Spirit's giving you a helping hand around this issue, so you can come together with a masculine type force. It'll happen slowly, it's not going to happen overnight, but socializing, going out and having fun and exploring your emotions about what it feels like to be free. And there's a big wide world out there. So dear Capricorn, you can loosen up a bit, you can focus on your money, let go of the purse strings just a little bit, not too much, but take a calculated risk here and there and explore your emotions. You've got a lot of new people to meet, and you've got some energy going down here in your fifth house of romance and creativity as well. And I'll talk more about that. Jupiter will be moving out of that zone in May, but before 25th of May, it's a great time for doing this sort of thing, meeting people, moving about and so forth. All right, let's make this a bit bigger, like that, and keep these two cards in, or three cards in your case, three cards in mind. So I can't fit them all in, but that's how it goes. All right, so your ruling planet Saturn is in Pisces since last year, and it will be there until the 24th of May next year, 2025. This is all about teaching you healthy boundaries. I want to say the word that's coming is self-respect as well. Saturn is here in your house of communications, so it's about how you communicate with people. Maybe you've not said enough, or maybe you've said too much, but it's like maybe in your case, for some of you, you may have had the boundaries, the walls up too much, and for others it may have been that the walls aren't up at all. So finding the balance of having a healthy boundary, which you can put the wall up when you need to and then drop the wall when it's somebody close, and have some degree of intimacy with another human being on a social level perhaps, or especially to do with your community. Maybe there's been some issue there, things not going as well as what you would have hoped. So there is a lunar eclipse coming up, and that'll be on the 17th of September, and you're going to get a shake-up in that area. So it's communications, it's also things like learning. If you've got any sort of learning difficulties, perhaps might get a shake-up, but you might find from that shake-up that you find a new way to learn that is really helpful. Because there's different styles of learning, of course, and maybe you've been trying to learn something in a style that's not suited to you. So you may discover a new technique or a procedure or something like that that can help you learn. There's also here, it's about promoting, marketing, getting your message out, and you may find that you've tried something, it hasn't worked, so you find a new way of promoting and marketing, especially if you're in business. And also the other thing it could be is a distant relative, like a cousin, or maybe a sibling that is distant, either because you don't get on very well, or you haven't had much communication, or that distant relative lives away distantly. So there's some sort of focus on that, and it could be quite enlightening. Now, the other thing I want to talk about is, I'm going to talk a lot about the eclipses for you, but also the moon's nodes, and the fact here that you've got this lunar eclipse in Libra, and that's on the 25th of March in your career zone. It could also be something to do with authority figures such as a parent. But you've also got the solar eclipse there on the 2nd of October as well. So there could be some sort of shake-up to do with your career that results in a new beginning for you. And really the energies are coming together in your career. You see here the South Node in Libra as well. At some point, these will all be conjunct perhaps, and although normally lunar eclipse is only in the house, the moon's only in the house for 2.5 to 3.5 days, so they will all be the South Node and the lunar eclipse, and then the South Node and the solar eclipse will be conjunct at some point. And so this is really putting a focus on your career and the way you used to deal with your career, your history, your experience, and what goes back in your family. So you might be a baker, for example. If you look back in your family, you might find that you come from a long line of bakers, for example, and you had certain ways of doing things. It's about catching up, being caught up to date, and maybe bringing some modern techniques or some modern ways of doing things. For some of you, you could change jobs, though, could change career, or perhaps there's something to do with an authority figure, like a parent, that is actually healed because you find a new way of dealing with it. So that's the solar eclipse in Aries on the 8th. The lunar eclipse in Pisces on the 17th of September down here, it will also be conjunct Saturn at that date. It will actually be that date, and then slightly after that date it will be conjunct Neptune. The effects of eclipses, both lunar and solar, can last for up to 6 months too, so they're pretty important. And again, the solar eclipse on the 2nd of October in Libra, bringing new beginnings that I've already talked about. So, and one other thing here, the North Node here is in your house of home and family, along with this solar eclipse and Chiron. So there's some sort of new beginning that's going to happen around your home and family. And these three, the solar eclipse, Chiron and the North Node, are going to blend their energies, bringing up something to do in your future, which is going to relate to healing the wounded healer. So this is a wound that you've had probably all your life, or for a good part of your life, around your home and family. So it's good news that there's going to be some sort of healing there. Pluto moves into Aquarius here, your house of money that I alluded to previously, on the 20th of January to the 1st of September this year, and then approximately 10 weeks later, 19th of November to the 8th of March 2043, so 20 years. And it's about radical transformation of your finances, your possessions, and also the things that you value. So there's going to be a great transmutation of energy around how you receive money and what you do with your money, the things that you believe in. Maybe money becomes less important to you, and you have some sort of epiphany that it's only one thing and there are other things that are more important, for example, or you change your values in some major way. The other thing to note is that Jupiter's going into Gemini, and that's here in your house of everyday work. It's also your health, well-being, and your habits, what you do on a daily routine. You could become more communicative at work or have a lot more brilliant ideas. This is your daily work, like the sort of routine type work, the things you do on a daily basis. All of that is enlarged in some way. So if you work part-time, you might find you're suddenly working full-time if you wish to, and this can improve your money supply. But it does seem like there is a definite theme about improving money, about exploring your emotions, and career is tied in with these themes in a major way. So that's it, Courageous Capricorns. Thank you so much. I hope this is useful for you. Please leave a like and a comment. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much. And I just want to wish you a Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. Otherwise, have a very merry 25th of December. And also a very insightful and productive 2024. You will indeed. Thanks so much. I'll see you all again soon. Thanks and bye for now.